FEMA says only 37% of Americans have made a written emergency plan. That means roughly 6 out of every 10 households on your block have no plan, no meeting point, no out-of-area contact, nothing on paper. That is not a prepper problem. That is a family competence problem. And it closes in 30 days without spending a single dollar on gear. In this video we walk through a 30-day plan anyone can start today. 4 weeks, 4 skills, 4 conversations. By the end, you will be ahead of roughly 2 out of 3 families on your block. Not because you panicked, because you made a plan. This is FlintReady, survival knowledge, structured. No doomsday, no gear lectures. Just a 30-day framework built on FEMA, Red Cross and CDC guidance, translated into something a family can actually do together on a Sunday afternoon. Keep watching. Week 2 is the one almost every beginner skips, and it is the one that actually saves a life. Week 1 is free, $0, 0 gear, and here is why that matters. FEMA's 2024 National Household Survey found that cost is the #1 barrier to preparedness for 26% of Americans. So we remove cost from the equation entirely for the first 7 days. Every action this week fits on one piece of paper. Day 1. Write down every household member, their medications, blood type if known, and any medical conditions. 1 page. That is your household identification sheet. Day 2. Pick 2 meeting points. 1 within walking distance of home, a tree, a mailbox, a corner. 1 outside the neighborhood, a church, a library, a relative's house. Day 3. Name an out-of-area contact. A different state is preferred because local lines jam first. Text every family member that contacts name and number. Day 4. Map 2 evacuation routes out of your home on paper. 1 primary, 1 if the primary is blocked by a tree, a fire, or a flooded road. Day 5. Make a family communication card. Meeting points, out-of-area contact, key phone numbers, allergies. Print 1 per person, wallet size. Day 6. Open your phone. Turn on wireless emergency alerts, the county EAS alerts. Install the FEMA app. All of that is free. Day 7. Sit down as a family and walk the plan together. Do not quiz the kids. Do not lecture. Read it aloud. This is the step almost nobody takes. And it is the step the data keeps calling out. FEMA 2023 found that only 12% of Americans plan with their neighbors. Planning inside the house with the people who actually live there is the foundation. Planning with the people next door is the layer almost everyone skips. If you did nothing else this entire video but week 1, you would be ahead of most of your neighbors. $0. 1 hour total, write it down. Week 2 is the one nearly every beginner skips, and the data shows why it matters. FEMA 2024 found that only 34% of Americans who have emergency supplies believe those supplies would last them 2 weeks or longer. Most people vaguely feel stocked, and the number does not back it up. And here is the piece you usually hear stated wrong. People will tell you grocery shelves go empty in 3 days. That is not what the FTC actually found. The FTC's 2024 Grocery Supply Chain Report describes a just-in-time system where stores restock on a 3 to 7 day cycle. Panic buying collapses that cycle in hours, not days. The pipeline is not fragile because the shelves empty overnight on their own. It is fragile because a few thousand neighbors deciding to shop at the same time removes your normal week of headroom. Day 8. Water math. 1 gallon per person per day, times 3 days. For a family of 4, that is 12 gallons. Write it on paper so the number is real. Day 9. Buy the water. The cheapest working option is 5-gallon jugs from a grocery store for about $5 each. If you want even cheaper, fill empty food-grade containers straight from the tap. Day 10. Label every container with the fill date using tape and a marker. Rotate every 6 months. Water itself does not spoil, but plastic does eventually leach. Day 11. Learn 1 backup method. A Sawyer mini filter is around $25 and filters almost anything. Boiling is free if you have a stove. Sodies, sunlight in a clear PET bottle for 6 hours is free with nothing but sunlight. Day 12. Find your water main shutoff. Know how to close it. Take a picture. A cracked pipe after an earthquake or a hard freeze empties your hot water tank in 20 minutes while you figure out where the valve is. Day 13. Add 3 days of shelf-stable food per person to what you already have. Peanut butter, tuna, crackers, canned vegetables, granola bars. Foods you already eat, so you can rotate them through normal meals instead of letting them expire in a bin. Day 14. Test a power-out dinner. No stove, no fridge, no microwave. Eat from the 3-day stash and note every gap. Missing a can opener is the classic one. Better to learn that tonight than during a real outage. Week 3 assumes the disaster does not make you leave. Your house is the plan. The Red Cross recommends a minimum 7-day supply of every prescription medication in the kit, and by the end of this week we aim for 30 days on the major ones. That single call to your pharmacy is the highest leverage action in this whole week. Documents this week follow a framework FEMA already built called the Emergency Financial First Aid Kit, or EFFAK. It organizes critical documents into 4 categories: household identification, so driver's licenses, birth certificates, passports; financial and legal, so insurance policies, deeds, titles, wills; medical, so prescription lists, allergies, provider contacts; and household contacts, the list of people and services you would need to call. Scan each category once. Store 1 encrypted copy in the cloud, 1 on a USB in a fireproof bag, and 1 printed copy in a family binder. Day 15. Locate your fire extinguisher, 1 per floor at minimum, 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the garage. Locate your first aid kit. Locate the flashlights. Day 16. Replace any extinguisher older than 12 years. Test every smoke alarm in the house. Replace the batteries in all of them at once so the next replacement cycle stays aligned. Day 17. Scan and back up every document in the 4 EFFAK categories: IDs, passports, insurance policies, medical summaries, deeds, irreplaceable photos. 1 cloud copy, 1 USB in a fireproof bag. Day 18. Call your pharmacy today and ask about an emergency refill on every prescription. Almost every state has a statute that lets a pharmacist fill an emergency supply during a declared event or medical need. You want 30 days on hand before you need it. Day 19. Fuel and propane. Keep every vehicle above a half tank as a habit, not a panic move. Keep 1 full 20-pound propane tank if you own a grill, so you have a way to cook without grid power. Day 20. 1 flashlight per room. Store batteries outside the flashlight so the contacts do not corrode. Headlamps are better than handhelds because they leave both hands free. Day 21. Run a night drill. Lights off at 9 p.m. Navigate the house on flashlights and headlamps only for 30 minutes. You will find the gaps: loose steps, missing batteries, a door that sticks, a kid who does not know where the flashlight lives. Week 4 is the layer almost nobody reaches. Gear runs out. Skills do not. And there is one statistic that changes how you think about skills for the rest of your life. The American College of Surgeons Stop the Bleed program reports that roughly 31,000 Americans die every year from preventable hemorrhage, and severe bleeding is the #1 cause of death for Americans ages 1 to 46. The gap between a traumatic injury and an ambulance is the single widest survival gap in civilian life, and that gap has an answer: direct pressure, wound packing, a tourniquet, taught in an hour, free. Day 22. Find a Stop the Bleed class. It is nationwide, it is free online or in person, and it takes about an hour. 1 class per adult in the household. Day 23. Learn how to shut off your home's gas at the meter. Learn your main circuit breaker. Take pictures of both while the light is still on and save them to your phone. Day 24. Identify your 2 closest neighbors by name, phone numbers, kids, pets, medical conditions they would want you to know. FEMA 2023 found only 12% of Americans plan with their neighbors. This is the easiest 12% to join. Day 25. Weather literacy. Learn your county's EAS alert code, your NOAA weather radio settings, and whether your home sits inside a FEMA-designated flood, fire, or hurricane zone. Free, all of it. Day 26. Build a 24-hour go bag for each adult, not a bug-out fantasy kit. Water, calorie bars, a 7-day medication pack, a flashlight, a phone power bank, cash, a copy of your ID, 1 change of clothes. Day 27. Practice week 1. Walk one of your evacuation routes on foot. Drive the second one. See what the kids remember. Day 28. Keep $200 in small bills in the house. Power outages take down card readers before they take down cash. Day 29. Upgrade from 3 days to 4 weeks of food and water. Not a stockpile, a pantry. Food you already eat, rotated through normal meals. Day 30. Review the whole plan, what broke during the night drill, what the kids did not know, what the binder is missing. Revise it and put it back on the shelf. Here is the honest piece that most beginner plan videos leave out. 30 days does not finish the habit. It starts it. The peer-reviewed habit formation research, Singh 2024 meta-analysis building on Lally 2010, puts the median time to a genuinely automatic habit at around 60 days, sometimes longer, and it varies by person, but 30 days is exactly enough to build the foundation. the written plan, the water, the documents, the skills. After that, maintenance is the job. That is the plan. 4 weeks, 4 themes, written plan, water and 72 hours, home and documents, skills and beyond 72 hours. None of this requires you to become someone you are not. There is no bunker, there is no ideology, there is a calm written plan the average American family does not have, and a weekend's worth of actions to put it in place. The American Red Cross said in 2025 that it is now responding to roughly twice as many major disasters as it did a decade ago. 2 out of 3 families on your block still do not have this. You will. That is the whole difference. Week 1 is free. Start there today. Drop a comment. Which week did you skip when you first tried this? I read them all. If this helped, hit subscribe. One long form like this every week. Next week, the one page every family should carry in a wallet, the Family Emergency Communication Card as a free download. Stay prepared. FlintReady.com